Welcome, guys. Guess what? If I'm coming to you live, you know what that means. That means it's Thursday, and you're here for another episode of Conversations with Kesha. Welcome to my world. Welcome to the inside of my brain. I get to share a little bit of what's always churning in there with you guys once a week at 12:15 ish. And today I'm going to be talking to you guys about insanity, and not insanity like people being insane, but as it applies to us moving towards our vision, because that's what we're all about here. If this is the first time you've ever come into my world, join the conversation. My name is Lakeisha Gates of LakeishaGates.com. I am a life and small business strategist. And what that means is that I help you figure out what you want. So I help you get clarity, gain clarity. I help you take action towards what you want by helping you build a strategy. And I walk alongside you so you can actually do the things that you need to do to turn that idea into a vision into a plan, and act on that plan. So that's what I do. That's how I help the ambitious woman of faith or small business owners who are not sure how to proceed forward in their area of expertise. So welcome into my world. Like I said, today we're going to be talking about insanity. And many of you have heard the definition of insanity is doing the same thing the same way, expecting a different result, right? Doing the same thing the same way, but expecting a different result. So I wanted to talk to you guys about that today, because this is something that I'm personally going through right now, and I wanted to process and share this with you and kind of share my thoughts around it. This is not going to be like the other conversations with Kesha where I'm hitting you up and I'm giving you practical strategy, boom, 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 to take action. I'm going to play with your mind for a little bit. I want us to think a little bit today. Welcome, Buki. Welcome, Pastor Blair. And if I can't see that you're logged on, please remember to like my page, be dynamic. That way I can welcome you into the conversation as well. So the issue is when we are doing the same thing the same way, expecting a different result, it comes down to fear. Fear is this 4-letter word that everybody's bouncing around and everybody's talking about, but how does it apply to you? And something I want to tell you, that fear is real. I mean, it's not like it's a bad thing for you to feel fear. It's a bad thing when you allow fear to stop you from doing the thing that you know, especially the things that God has called you to do. So we know that the fear is real, but one thing, there's this lady, if you haven't heard of her, her name is Marie Forleo. She's actually coming out with a book, but she says that everything is figure outable. So there's a couple of things that I know about you guys watching, right? I know that you want to be living in your purpose, because otherwise you wouldn't be watching Conversations with Kesha. I know that you know that you're made for more, right? That you know that there is more to life than what you're currently experiencing. As the street sweeper is, can you hear that? Oh my gosh. Real live stream. Here you go. We know that you are made for more. You know that, right? And you're experiencing that tension. Another reason why you watch Conversations with Kesha. But see, the thing is that something's playing in your mind, right? So you can't justify taking the risk associated with pursuing that dream, pursuing that vision. Hi, Nicole. Thank you for watching live. All my faithfuls, I appreciate you guys. So you can't justify taking the risk, right? But the thing is that if you want something different, you have to do something different. So my question for you today is, do you really want more? That's what you need to be pondering today. Take some time to think about it over the weekend. And if you're not willing to take the risk, that is okay. That is okay. Because maybe right now is not the time. But stop playing yourself. talking the talk like you want to do something different. You have all these dreams, you have all these visions, you want to do this and you want to do that, and you're steadily talking to people about what you want to do. But if you know that you're not willing to take the risk to do it, stop wasting your time and stop wasting everybody else's time. And I'm speaking for all the coaches, all the consultants out there who you guys are throwing your money to, who you're saying, help me with this, help me figure out this, and then you get these plans and then you don't do anything with them. So this is what I'm talking about. You have to ask yourself, am I going to do what I need to do to get me out of this mode of doing the same thing, the same way, expecting a different result? I am walking in insanity. So that's my question for you today. Do you really want more? And stepping into something new is exactly that. It's new, right? We go in expecting that we already know how to do the thing that we're looking to do. No, it's new. And unless you're an innovator, like you're creating things that have never been created before, you can learn how to do just about anything. You can learn to do just about anything. You hear me? Right? So why are we getting stuck like, oh, I don't know how to do that, so I should be an expert? Why should you be an expert at something you've never done before? But the key to becoming an expert is to actually go out there and try and learn and do the thing that you're attempting to become an expert in. Right? And that is where I'm coming to you guys today in transparency. That's what I'm experiencing right now. It's easy for me to life coach. That's what I do, right? That is naturally who God has created me to be. But I know that there's more, right? So shifting into this new arena of working with corporate business clients takes on a whole new connotation, right? It requires for me to be more action oriented and dedicated, right? Because these people's businesses are on the line, if I could say that, or I'm helping to shape the direction of these people's businesses. I can be cordial and I can be nice and I can be encouraging when it comes to your life, right? But when people are investing in you with the expectation that they see a return on their investment, the stakes are higher. And that's what I'm sharing with you guys today. There are things that you are afraid to take the risk on because you're afraid to put your name on the line, because you're expecting people to see results based on your product, based on your advice, based on your customized plan, based on your strategic plan, right? And so the risks become higher. And that's okay, because otherwise, if you are not willing to do those things, just please stay doing what you're doing now. I'm going to save you a lot of time, a lot of worry, a lot of anxiety, a lot of money. If you're not willing to take the risk, stay doing what you're doing now. And be happy doing it instead of complaining about where you are, right? Do you have what it takes to do what you need to do to take you to the places you want to go? Do you? I believe you do. I believe if God has placed that thing in you that will not let you sleep, that you can't seem to let go of, that you keep dreaming and thinking and building on the back end of, I believe he gave you the answer to that question. So really, the only person that's getting in the way of that happening is you. And like we said at the beginning of this, fear of the unknown. You don't know what's going to happen, and you don't trust yourself enough to put yourself out there to be able to respond. But as I'm always sharing, if you put one foot forward, the second foot forward, you're expecting the staircase to be built already, right? And it is, but you have to trust in God enough to take those steps, those first couple of steps, without seeing the full staircase. Because what happens if we see the staircase when we start? We just running up the staircase as fast as we can, not paying attention to, we need to pace ourselves, right? And we end up doing things that we shouldn't do and making mistakes that we shouldn't, because we want to rush through things and not take our time and be patient. Because progress is in the process, right? It's a plug for my shirt. Go to my my store and pick that up. Progress is in the process. But if you don't ever give yourself a chance to start the process, there can be no progress. You guys understand? And I'm sharing this so passionately because I talk to myself about this every day. Like, Kesha, you got this. God wouldn't put you here if you didn't, right? Stop doubting yourself. Show up. This is what you were created for, right? So I'm just going to ask you something, and this is all about being realistic, right? I hope by the end of this live stream, you're saying to yourself, you know what? I'm just going to be okay doing what I'm doing. I'm going to get up. I'm going to go to work, which is providing food for my family, the opportunity for us to be able to have a roof over our head, right? Be happy and enjoy and be grateful for the things that you have. Don't get caught up in these wishful thinking or following your dreams if you don't really have the tenacity to follow your dreams, right? So, but if what you were doing was working, you would see the fruit of it by now, right? You would see the fruit of it. And sometimes we have to ask ourselves, if we don't begin to see some fruit from, just like a farmer, he's not planting seeds to not see any return on his investment, right? So if what you're doing and you're spending your time you can't get back, it's not renewable. You're spending your time, you're spending your money, and you're investing in this thing and you're not seeing any fruit, you're not seeing any growth, I'm gonna have to ask you, are you doing the same thing the same way, expecting a different result? You may be doing that same thing in a whole different industry. You may be doing that same thing in a whole different situation, but at the same time, if you're doing the same thing the same way and expecting a different result, that is insanity. But I'm not going to leave you hanging like that, right? Because you can make a choice today to level up. What's another one? Boss up. What's another one? Man up. Whatever upness, whatever upness that you have to do, it's time to do it, right? Do something dynamic today. That's what this community is about, doing the little things. I'm not asking you to make these huge steps. I'm just asking you to make a commitment to trust yourself, to take the risk that you need to take, to learn the things that you need to learn to get you to where you want to go, right? And if you do that, and God blesses you with another day, you wake up and he blesses you with another day, then eventually your tomorrow will begin to look like the tomorrow of your dreams. But you have to be willing to shake it up a little bit. Because if what you were doing now was working, then you would have what you desire. But you don't. So do something different. That's the hard truth, y'all. I know this wasn't a rah-rah message, and I wasn't expecting to get a lot of, hey, girls, yes, Kesha. Although Kiara was shouting me out like a good friend does, right? Pumping me up. Oh, now she just shot me down. But that's the reality of it. We have to put in the work. My expectation of you guys is that we all rise together. I want to see us all win. You know why? Because God, you guys hear me say it all the time, he has something amazing for us. And listen, I'll be darned if I'm not in position and I'm not able to do what I need to do because you're not doing what you're supposed to do. You talk about something that fires me up, that burns me up in the inside. That I know that you have something that can impact and influence the world. And some of you guys who have products, or some of you guys who, like, how does that impact or influence the world? What about you getting to a place where you have the resources to be able to extend your resource through time, through money, to be able to help influence a certain area, that you're giving back to a community that's going to help to rise up and serve other communities. You don't know what that product is leading you to. You just don't know. But if you're constantly processing in your mind, like, why do people need this? Why do people need to hear this? Why this? I'm gonna need you to all the way get out of that, because somebody out there needs what you have. And by you staying stuck in fear, by you not being willing to take risks, you're not in position to help somebody else. And not just to help them for helping them's sake, it's because we're all connected. We all need each other to do the things that God has called us to do while we're here on this earth. You got to ask yourself, why did he create you for such a time as this? Right? To get you to this moment right now. Why? So, like I said, level up, boss up, man up, whoop, 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 whatever language you use. Dynamic up, that's not a thing. And I don't think I'm going to make it a thing. It doesn't sound good anyway. I'm going to need you to do that, because I need you, the people around you and your circle of influence need you to show them that it's possible for them to do it too. You know what? That's all I have for you guys today. And if you're unsure about what that looks like, I don't know, Kesha, I have a course coming out in a couple of weeks, Memorial Weekend, that I'm going to help you figure out so that you can easily say what you want. So you can easily say, this is the life that I am working towards. Because, we sometimes put the cart before the horse, saying, I want to build a plan and I want to build a strategy. And you build a plan and a strategy based off of a life that you've created off of what you don't want. Right? You built a successful life off of what you don't want. But if I ask you what you wanted, you wouldn't be able to clearly answer my question. Right? So that's what this course is going to help you confidently be able to say, this is what I want. This is what I'm going after in this life. It's going to help you understand how you're wired. It's going to affect positively or negatively how you go after that, and what kind of people or who do you need around you in order for you to go after those things, because you got to build that up first before you ever start pursuing the thing that you think that you need to build a strategy on. Right? Confidently saying, this is what I want out of life. So remember, if any part of what I just said triggers you, click the link in the description box and get on the wait list so you can be one of the first people to know when that course opens. And that's only going to open to a certain few amount of people. I'm not opening it up to the public because I've learned more about myself. I'm more intimate. And in this round, that's what it's going to look like. It's going to look like a lot of working with me one-on-one so that we can help you get a better understanding of what you've been put on this earth to do, what you want, and building a life based on that, not on what everybody else said that you should be doing, or I don't want to be like that, so I'm going to make these decisions about this, and I don't want to do this, so I'm going to, all those things that we're like, thinking that, oh, I want to go to college because nobody in my family went to college. But do you really want to go to college? What do you want to go to college for? What is that college degree going to do for you after you get it? We don't think about those things. We just think about nobody in my family went to college, so I need to go to college, which is fine if you know what you're going for. So we have to change and shift our thinking around what we are positively going after instead of what we're building a life, what we're running from. So click the link, join the wait list. I love you guys. I got to go because I got to get back to work. I got some stuff to do. I got businesses to help develop. And I will see you on the flip side. If you guys have any additional questions, make sure to keep the comments going. Put them in the comments below, because after the live stream is over, we can still have a conversation, still continue the conversation. And I will see you next week on another episode of Conversations with Kesha. Remember, take some kind of action today. Do something dynamic today. If you're unsure of what that looks like, make sure you join the wait list for the I'm Ready for Change course, so that you can confidently say, this is what I want. This is what I'm pursuing. Love you guys. See you next week. Bye.